Hello and welcome to another part of this chapter probability. In the previous part, we have learned how to compute covariance and correlation coefficient both for discrete and continuous distribution. In this part, we shall consider some important properties or some important theorems on covariance and correlation coefficient. The first theorem we shall consider here is covariance of x and y. This can be written in this form, that is expectation of xy minus mx into my, where mx and my, these are the marginal mean of x and y. We have already used this relation to solve some problems, but we shall prove this theorem from the definition of covariance. We know that covariance of x and y, this is equal to mu 1 1, and by the definition this is expectation of x minus mx into y minus my. Now this is equal to expectation of, now if we multiply these two products, then we have xy minus mx into y minus my into x plus mx my. Now this can be written as expectation of xy. Now by the property, this is equal to expectation of xy minus expectation of mx into y minus expectation of my into x plus expectation of mx into my. Now mx and my, these are the marginal mean of x and y, so these two are constants, so this is equal to expectation of xy minus, we can take mx outside the expectation, so mx into e of y minus, we can take my outside the expectation, so my e x plus mx into my is a constant, so expectation of some constant is equal to the same constant mx my. This is equal to expectation of xy minus mx into expectation of y, this is the marginal mean of y, so this is my minus my into expectation of x, this is again marginal mean of x, so it is mx plus mx into my. So this is equal to e of xy minus mx into my, cancelling mx my and plus mx my. So the covariance of x and y can be written in this form, expectation of xy minus mx into my. This formula is very much helpful to compute covariance for the practical problems. So that completes the theorem. We consider the next theorem, that is covariance is symmetric with respect to the random variables. That means we have to prove that covariance of xy, this is symmetric with respect to x and y. So covariance of xy, this will be equal to covariance of y and x. Now the proof is very simple, because covariance of xy, this is equal to expectation of x minus mx into y minus my. Now this can be written as expectation of y minus my into x minus mx. So if this is equal to covariance of x and y, then this will be equal to covariance of y and x. So the covariance is symmetric with respect to x and y. So that completes the theorem. We consider the next theorem. Prove that correlation coefficient of ax plus b and cy plus d, this is equal to ac divided by modulus of a into modulus of c multiplied by correlation coefficient of x and y, where a, c, b, d, these are constants, out of which a and c are non-zero. So we have to prove this theorem. That means the correlation coefficient of x and y are given, so this is given, we have to find the correlation coefficient of these two variables, ax plus b and cy plus d. So to prove that, we first assume that u equal to ax plus b and v is equal to cy plus d. Also we assume that the marginal mean of m is mx and marginal mean of y is my, and also assume that the marginal variance of x is sigma square x and marginal variance of y is sigma square y. Then we know that rho, that means correlation coefficient between x and y, this is equal to covariance of x and y, it is divided by sigma x into sigma y. Now we have to find the correlation coefficient between these two variables, that means between u and v. So we have to find rho uv, that will be equal to covariance of u and v divided by sigma u and sigma v. So for that we have to find sigma u, sigma v, and also covariance of u and v. So to compute all of these, we first need to compute the marginal mean of u and v. That means we have to find mu and mv. Now since u equal to ax plus b, then we know that from a property of mean that mean of u, this will be equal to a into mean of x plus b. So mean of u, that is mu, this will be a into mean of x, and mean of x is mx, so a mx plus b. Similarly, mean of v, this will be c into mean of y plus d. So mean of v mv, this will be c into mean of y. Now mean of y is assumed as my, so c into my plus d. And also we know from a property of standard deviation or variance that if u is equal to ax plus b, then variance of u, which we shall denote it by sigma square u. So variance of u, this will be a square into variance of x. So a square into variance of x, which is sigma square x, and variance of v, sigma square v, this will be equal to c square into variance of y. So c square into variance of y is denoted by sigma square y. So it is sigma square y. So these two are the variances of u and v. But to compute correlation coefficient, we need to find standard deviation. So from where we find that standard deviation of u, which is sigma u, this is positive square root of a square into sigma square x. Now positive square root of sigma square x is sigma x because it is always positive, but a may be negative or positive. So if we compute the positive square root of a square, then we shall get modulus of a. Similarly, sigma v, that is standard deviation of v, this will be equal to positive square root of c square, which is modulus of c, multiplied by positive square root of sigma square y, which is sigma y, because sigma y is positive. So we have found mu, mv and sigma u, sigma v. Next we have to find covariance of u and v. We know that covariance of x and y, this is equal to expectation of x minus mx into y minus my. We know this definition. So covariance of u and v, this will be equal to expectation of u minus mu multiplied by v minus mv. Now this is equal to expectation of, now u minus mu, u equal to ax plus b minus mu, so minus amx minus b, it is multiplied by v minus mb. Now v is equal to cy plus t minus mv, that is c into my minus d. So this is equal to expectation of, now cancelling b, we find that this is a into x minus mx multiplied by cancelling d, we find that it is c into y minus my. Now since a and c, these two are constants, so we can take these two quantities outside the expectation. So this is ac into expectation of x minus mx multiplied by y minus my. Now this is nothing but covariance of x and y. So this is a into c into covariance of x and y. So here we have found that covariance of u and v, this is equal to a into c into covariance of x and y. So correlation coefficient of u and v, that is rho uv, this is equal to covariance of u and v, that is equal to a into c into covariance of x and y. We have already obtained this. It is divided by sigma u into sigma v. Now sigma u equal to modulus of a into sigma x, and sigma v, this is equal to modulus of c into sigma y. So it is modulus of c into sigma y. Now covariance of xy divided by sigma x into sigma y, this is nothing but correlation coefficient of x and y. So rho xy equal to covariance of xy by sigma x into sigma y. So this is nothing but correlation coefficient of x and y. So this is equal to a into c divided by modulus of a into modulus of c, it is multiplied by rho xy. So that completes the proof that correlation coefficient of u and v, that means correlation coefficient of ax plus b and cy plus d, this is equal to a into c divided by mod a into mod c, it is multiplied by rho xy, that means correlation coefficient of x and y. Now we consider some particular cases. Now if a and c both have the same sign, so if a is positive and c is positive, then mod a equal to a and mod c equal to c. So a and c both are cancelled out from numerator and denominator. So if a and c both have the same sign, in particular if both are positive, then rho uv equal to rho xy. Similarly, if a and c both are negative, then mod a equal to minus a and mod c equal to minus c. So that rho uv becomes again rho xy. That means if both of a and c, these two are either both positive or both negative, then rho uv equal to rho xy. But if a and c, these two have the different sign or opposite sign, then rho uv will be minus of rho xy. You can check that if a is positive and c is negative, or if a is negative, c is positive, then rho uv becomes minus rho xy. We consider the next theorem. This is the most important theorem of correlation coefficient. It is given that if rho xy be the correlation coefficient of two random variables x and y, then rho xy must lie between -1 and +1. So whenever I consider this theorem, that means we are assuming that the correlation coefficient of two random variables x and y exist. So let us start the theorem. So remember, we have to prove that rho xy lies between -1 and +1. We consider this function of x and y. It is x minus mx by sigma x plus minus y minus my by sigma y its whole square, where mx and my, these two are the marginal mean of x and y, and sigma x sigma y, these two are the marginal standard deviation of x and y. So we assume this function, since x and y are random variables, so these two are real variables, so the values of x and y are real. So mx, my, sigma x, my, these all are real numbers. So therefore this function cannot be negative. So this is always greater or equal to 0. Now we know from a well-known property of expectation that if a function is non-negative, then its expectation must be non-negative. So expectation of this function, this must be greater or equal to 0. From here we find that expectation of x minus mx by sigma x plus minus y minus my by sigma y its whole square it is greater equal to 0. From where we find that, now if we expand a plus minus b whole square, then it is x minus mx whole square by sigma square x plus y minus my whole square by sigma square y plus minus 2 times x minus mx by sigma x into y minus my by sigma y. So it is greater equal to 0. Now this is equal to, now expectation of a plus b plus c. Now we can write that it is expectation of the first part x minus mx whole square by sigma x square plus expectation of second part y minus my square by sigma y square plus minus 2 times expectation of the third part x minus mx into y minus my divided by sigma x into sigma y. Now this is greater equal to 0. Now sigma square x is constant, so we can take this one outside the expectation. So 1 by sigma square x e of x minus mx square plus, again sigma square y is a constant because this is the marginal variance of y, so this must be a constant, just a number. So we can take this one outside the expectation, so it is 1 by sigma square y, expectation of y minus my square plus minus 2 times, again we can take sigma x into sigma y outside the expectation, so 1 by sigma x into sigma y, expectation of x minus mx into y minus my, this is greater equal to 0. So just we have expanded this quantity and ultimately we have obtained this one. Now expectation of x minus mx whole square. Now from the definition of bivariate moment, we know that this is nothing but mu 2 0. The bivariate moment of order 2 plus 0, actually bivariate central moment of order 2 plus 0. So this is nothing but the marginal variance of x. Similarly, this is the central moment of order 0 plus 2. So this is the marginal variance of y. And finally this quantity, expectation of x minus mx into y minus my, mu 1 1, this is the covariance of x and y. So this can be written as 1 by sigma square x. Now this is sigma square x plus 1 by sigma square y into expectation of this is sigma square y again, so 1 by sigma square y into sigma square y plus minus 2 times 1 by sigma x sigma y into, now this is nothing but the covariance of x and y, so covariance of x and y, this is greater equal to 0. From here we find that 1 plus 1 plus minus 2 times of covariance of x y divided by sigma x into sigma y, this is greater equal to 0. So this is 2 plus minus 2 times, now covariance of xy by sigma x into sigma y, this is nothing but correlation coefficient of x and y, this is greater equal to 0. So 1 plus minus rho xy, this is greater equal to 0. Now taking the positive sign, we have 1 plus rho xy, this is greater equal to 0, and taking the negative sign, we have 1 minus rho xy, it is greater equal to 0. From here we find that rho xy is greater equal to minus 1, and from here we find that rho xy is less equal to 1. So combining these two, we can write that rho xy lies between minus 1 and plus 1. So the correlation coefficient lies between minus 1 and plus 1. So that completes the theorem. Next we consider one definition. that is uncorrelated random variables. Two random variables x and y are called uncorrelated if and only if covariance of x and y equal to 0. So if we find that covariance of two random variables x and y is equal to 0, then the random variables are called uncorrelated, and conversely if the two random variables are uncorrelated, then the covariance must be 0. Now since we know that rho xy, this is equal to covariance of x and y by sigma x into sigma y. So if two random variables are uncorrelated, then covariance is 0. So consequently rho must be 0. And again, if rho xy is 0, then covariance must be 0. So two random variables x and y are uncorrelated if and only if covariance is 0, or if and only if rho is 0. We consider the next theorem. The statement is, if two random variables are independent, then covariance of x and y equal to 0. So if we find that two random variables x and y are independent, then their covariance must be 0. So we shall prove this theorem. So we assume that x and y are independent. Now covariance of x and y, this is equal to expectation of x minus mx into y minus my. So covariance of x and y, this is the definition of covariance. Now since x and y are independent, and this is a function of x and this is a function of y only, so from a well-known property of expectation, we find that if x and y are independent, then this can be written as expectation of x minus mx into expectation of y minus my. We have already discussed about this property. Now this is equal to expectation of, this can be written as expectation of x minus expectation of mx, and this can be written as expectation of y minus expectation of my. Now expectation of x is mx and mx is a constant, so e of mx is again mx, and expectation of y is my minus e of my is again my. So this is 0. So if two random variables are independent, then covariance must be 0, and consequently the correlation coefficient is 0. But remember that the converse of this theorem is not true. If the covariance is 0, that does not guarantee that the random variables are independent. If the random variables are independent, then covariance is 0, but if covariance is 0, then the random variables may or may not be independent. So if the random variables are independent, then covariance is 0. That means the variables are uncorrelated. So independent means uncorrelated. But the converse is not true. If two random variables are uncorrelated, that does not guarantee that the variables are independent. But if these two are independent, then these are automatically uncorrelated. This is the last theorem of this part. If x and y are two random variables such that covariance of xy exists, then variance of ax plus by, this will be a square into sigma square x plus b square into sigma square y plus 2ab into covariance of x and y, where a and b are constant. So we have to prove this theorem. So to find the variance of ax plus by, we first find the mean of ax plus by. Now this is equal to expectation of ax plus by. Now this is equal to a into expectation of x plus b into expectation of y. So this is the property of expectation. So this is equal to a into mx plus b into my, where mx and my, these two are the marginal means of x and y. Now variance of ax plus b by the formula, this is equal to expectation of this variable minus its mean whole square. Now this is the mean amx plus bmy of this variable ax plus by. We have already obtained this. So its variable minus its mean whole square. Now this can be written as a into x minus mx plus b into y minus my its whole square. So if we expand this, we shall find that this is a square into x minus mx square plus b square into y minus my square plus 2ab into x minus mx into y minus my. Now this can be written as a square into e of x minus mx square plus b square into e of y minus my square plus 2ab into e of x minus mx into y minus my. Now we have already discussed that this is nothing but marginal variance of x and this is nothing but marginal variance of y, and this is the covariance of x and y. So variance of x plus by, this is a square into variance of x plus b square into variance of y plus 2ab into covariance of x and y. So that completes the theorem. Now in particular, if x and y, these two variables are uncorrelated, then the last part will vanish, and also if the two variables x and y are independent, then the last part will vanish. So in case where x and y are uncorrelated or independent, then variance of ax plus by, this is equal to a square into sigma square x plus b square into sigma square y. Now if we put a equal to 1 and b equal to 1 in this theorem, then variance of x plus y, this will be variance of x plus variance of y plus 2 times covariance of x and y. And if we put a equal to 1, b equal to minus 1, then variance of x minus y, this will be variance of x plus variance of y minus 2 times covariance of x and y. So these are some theorems on correlation coefficient and covariance. So with this we complete this part. So see you in the next part. Until then, thanks for watching.